Hello, and welcome to the April edition of the Mathematics Parent Video Newsletter. In this video, we will share games for kindergarten to second grade that support students' understanding of comparison.
Hello, today we're going to play a comparison game using one die. In this game, whoever rolls the greater number would win the round. So for example, a child can roll the die 3, and a partner would roll the die 4. Which number is greater, 3 or 4? And in this situation, 4 is the greater number. So whoever rolled the 4 would win that round. And the game would continue. Whoever rolls the greater number would win. As a variation of the game, you can do the same thing, except this time whoever has the number that is the least would win. So in that situation, the child could roll the die 4, and a family member can roll the die, or a partner 1. And then we would ask, which number is the least, 4 or 1? And we know that 1 is less, so that person would win. And again, you can continue as many rounds as you would like. You can also keep score, or you don't have to. To make the game even more challenging, you can get 2 dice and play the game. It would be the same thing. So for this game, we'll see who rolls and has the greater number. So the child would roll, and in this situation, they can use the pips on the die to tell the total number. So if I rolled, I could see that I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. And then a partner can roll and do the same. 4, 5, 6, 7. And the winner would be, whether you're playing who has the greater number or whose number is the least, would win. And that's how you can play the comparison game using one die or 2.
We will now continue with the comparing game for first grade. For this game, each player needs 2 dice. Player 1 will grab the dice and roll. And one of the dice will be the 10s, and the other dice will be the 1s. So this player has 2 10s and 1 1, which is 21. Now player 2 will roll the dice. And player 2 also has 1 for their 10s and 1 for their 1s. So player 2 has 3 10s and 1 1, which is 31. So now we will ask, who has the greater number? Because that person is the one who will win the round and the point. So we look and we notice that we have 3 10s here, where we only have 2 10s here. Therefore, 31 is the greater number, and player 2 would win the point. Now, when students are barely learning place value, they may need to draw it out. So that's why we have the sheet of paper. So students, after they roll their dice, can go ahead and draw out their number. So 21 is 2 10s, and we draw our 10 rods. So here's 1, 2, and we have our 1, 1, which is just a dot. Player 2 would draw 3 10 rods, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 1. So then there, visually, the student can see that player 2 wins because there's more 10 rods than player 1. Some students go ahead and take it further and either circle the winners so that they can see as the rounds keep going and count up their points. Once students have played this long enough, and to change it up so that it doesn't get boring, something else you can do is have students roll the dice and instead have them go for who has the least. So in this case, player 1 did 22 and player 2 had 35. So we can say, well, player 1 has 2 10s and 2 1s. player 2 has 3 10s and 5 1s. Therefore, player 2 would win if we were playing for the least. Another final variation for this game, once your student is really good at place value, is to have both players roll their dice, and then both players can move their dice around to try and build the greater number. So here I could do 25, but really I would want to do 52 because that gets me to a greater number. Same thing over here, 54 would be greater than if I would have rolled 45. So by giving students that flexibility to move the dice around, they are then having that deeper thinking when it comes to their place value.
And our final game is for our second graders. Second graders will be comparing 3-digit numbers using place value. So the concept is very similar to the first grade game, except this time we're going to be using 3 dice. Each player will then roll 3 dice and players move their numbers to create the greatest number. Players then compare to see who has the greater number. So let's begin. Player 1 will go first. Player 1 will roll 3 dice and then line them up just the way that they fell. So in this case, we have a 5 in the ones, a 2 in the tens, and a 6 in the hundreds. This could be a situation where the student can modify if need be. If they would like to draw the pictures out so it's easier to compare, they are more than welcome to. So we know that we have 6 hundredths, so we'll use squares to represent our 100 flats. We'll use lines to represent our 10 rods, and we'll just use dots to represent our ones place. So in this case, we have created the number 625. Okay, player 2 can go next. Same thing, line it up just the way that they fell. And once again, we have 6 in the ones, 2 in the tens, and 4 in the hundredths. So if we're going to continue to draw, we'll draw 4 squares to represent our 4 hundredths, 2 lines to represent our 2 tens, and 6 dots to represent our ones. So in this case, we have 6 hundredths and 4 hundredths. So we know that this one is the greater number. So player 1 wins this round. So if students are choosing not to draw pictures, then they can just continue on rolling the dice, lining it up just the way that they land, and comparing their numbers. So in this case, we have 5 in the ones, 6 in the tens, and 1 in the hundredths. So here we've created the number 165. And player 2 has 5 in the hundredths, 1 in the tens, and 2 in the ones, creating the number 512. So knowing their place value, seeing that there are more in the hundredths for player 2 than player 1, player 2 could win that round. If you're looking for a way to modify this game for your students, you can go ahead and have them roll their dice and then arrange the numbers they rolled into creating the greatest number. So I know I want the biggest number in my hundreds place, so I'm gonna line up my numbers and put my 4 in the hundreds, and I have 3 in the tens and 2 in the ones. Player 2 can do the same thing. I'm gonna arrange my numbers from greatest to least. And here I have 432 and 651. Once again, using their place value, they should know that they want the highest number in their hundreds place to create the greatest number. And once again, player 2 can win here. Your other option is to keep everything exactly the same, but instead of looking for the greater number, change it to finding the least amount. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching our video, and we hope you have a great spring break. Thank you for watching today's video on number comparison. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and check back for more videos.